Mr. Kakoza, over to you.
All right. I am Kakoza Vianney, a Web3 enthusiast, evangelist, doing all things blockchain. I really want to share more, mostly about Web3, about blockchain, about why blockchain, about this landscape that people feel is somehow not clear. So I want to make sure that I can open up as much as possible. If you feel you have any question, it's you can always ask in the chat, and then yes, or it can be read out to me, or in any way let me know about it. Mainly, what is blockchain? Blockchain is simply a technology that allows us to work in decentralized and trustless manner. And when you start, most of the time, when you start talking about these words, people may not really understand what do you mean. What do you mean trustless? What do you mean decentralized? But I can give an example that consider a system. Maybe you have it could be a government or a company or a bank whereby decisions are made within a bank. So that's a centralized system. So a user or somebody who uses the bank just comes and deposits their funds, and they don't know what exactly happens in there. Maybe the bank has its own system. They don't have any proof of the cash. They don't know what's inside. So a decentralized system is in a way that um, everything is sort of open in a way that there is proof of, maybe let me say, if it is a bank, there is proof of the money that is in the bank, called proof of reserves. There is a system where everyone can come and check through, so that you don't need to trust the bank, but the system itself makes it trustable. Anyway, we can get a bit more deeper into this, like as we go further. Yes, so I think I'm trying to give an overview of decentralization. So how do we get then these blockchains? How do we come to, maybe how can we explain decentralization in itself? So when blockchains are being created, it is a system that is replicated on different computers. For example, if you have there are three kinds of system. You can have a centralized system where you have a single server. Let me put it in the technology context, where you have a single server that hosts all the work that is being done by the company or by the organization. Then you can have a distributed system whereby you have different servers. For example, you have cloud, whereby in case data on this server is lost, maybe in case this server fails, another server can then serve as this server was serving. Then you can have what we call a decentralized system. A decentralized system literally is where you have a distributed system with an addition of uh, a participant taking charge and having a copy of the system. So this simply means that in case this server is targeted, another instance of the server spins up. It's not a backup of the server that counts, but a new instance. So, and that's what starts to bring about the concept of decentralization. If I go a bit deeper, it simply means that everyone participating in the network has a certain sort of right. So this could be nodes. Nodes are simply computers that approving transactions on the network, or approving whatever program is being put on the network to be true or false. So anyone anywhere can spin up a node or another instance of the system and follow the rules that that system is following. These rules sometimes are called consensus or protocol. I've gone a bit deeper, but at least I wanted to make sure that I can open it up to differentiate it from a distributed system. So why do we need decentralization? We've found many cases where we have issues where entities claim to be having things they don't. For example, a bank could run bankrupt and its customers don't know that is bankrupt, but it simply keeps that information inside. Now that's a very big issue. You could, yeah, that's a very big issue to the user. So we want to have a bank where we can see the funds, that the proof at least of the funds that are in, and it is mathematically proven or proven code wise. So yeah, security is one of also of the fundamentals that form decentralized systems. And security is done in a way that, since many people are operating, it is more secure. It is that you cannot target a single point of failure or a single server in that case. So because there are very many replicants, every node is running an instance. So if this target is shut down, maybe by a distributed denial of service, then another one can just keep going with the same record. Then scalability, yeah. So this is one of the also the trilemma that blockchains face: decentralization, security, and scalability. Uh, the amount of throughput that such systems can come in. We know that we need this decentralization in some ways, where we need to prove transparency or prove that a system is doing what it says it does. So scalability comes in. Can the system handle this kind of load if very many people are just coming to the system, because it is open, decentralized, so anyone can use the system. So these are the fundamental concepts of blockchains. We are going to expound on it further, maybe how to get started in the Web3, how to get started in this decentralized sort of very huge, some call it hazy framework, maybe mostly when people are new to it. But I can break it down in a way that anyone can get started. So if you found your niche, let me say you are a person who likes doing influencing, there are many avenues. And the good thing in this sort of platform is that, since there is a lot of decentralization, there's a lot of breakage in barrier to that is caused due to centralized systems. Let me say you have to go and see the boss. No, here, if you have your research, if you've done a good couple of things and you've looked around, you just dive in, test things, join an online or on-chain community, or even your fellow community that you have. So I can start with. Let me try to have at least some order in defining it well. So the best way maybe I can say get started is educating yourself. Maybe you have nothing in your mind, but you know that we are seeing one. The thing I can say is, as many have said this is a get rich scheme, it is not. It is really a technology that is revolutionizing many things, separating money from the state, and it's not just a get rich scheme. If you do your own research, you're going to benefit so much in this ecosystem than all, because there's a lot of vibe around, maybe a token about this, there's this airdrop, but you need to do your own research and make decisions based on, like, research based on what you've read, based on the things you've seen. Is this protocol the value, total value of, like, many things. But I can start with saying educate yourself, look at things, watch YouTube, what is decentralization, read about tokens if you need to. If you're a person who is interested in math, you can read so much into economics, uh, many things around it, so that you start sort of carving a niche for yourself. So then, if you have, like, you've read, of course, now choose what you want to do. Yeah. So I'm trying to make sure that maybe I can have like a sort of drop down. Choose what you want to do. Where do you want to go to? Web3 blockchain is simply big. It's a huge field. There are people who work on the protocols. There are people who work in the communities. There are people who work in tokens. People who predict that's going to go up, it's going to go down. There are people who do trade. It's a very wide space. So choosing, after reading around, choosing a starting point, and you say, you know what, I want to go here, because I'm going to be presenting like live examples of many different platforms that you could go to, but they essentially do different things, but they are all into the Web3 or blockchain space. So after choosing what to do, um now here we are going to start. If you've chosen community, Community, you may even not choose what to do, but what I've seen with community, or if you choose a community, sometimes you may not have a clear picture, but when you meet communities in the Web3 space, you can pick ideas and pick different stuff. So let me say, um, you've heard of an Ethereum community, you've heard there is a meetup, a Web3 meetup, is a Polkadot meetup. We are having a meetup, which is actually it's organized by me tomorrow, Polkadot at Innovation Village, simply to share about open governance and things like that. So in these meetups, you get a click of ideas maybe that you've not read about, so that you can, yeah, you can get a grasp of it. And then if you choose to be in community, be engaged, I think the best way even to grow is to be in a community. Like, how do you get around, wrap your head around many things? So have a spirit of, if there is something somewhere, if there is something online, if such a session has been set, you attend, because this is also a community sort of thing. You don't isolate yourself. Make sure that you're collaborative in something, you've worked on something, however cheeky you may think it is, just share it out, let people talk, use your Twitter or X well, LinkedIn, whatever you're doing, just have a community around. Make sure that, yeah, anyone knows what you're doing, anyone can identify you, or yeah. So look for a community and learn, share. That's what I've been talking about. Now, um, I'm going to now start getting a little depth into how to get started. This, I mean, looking into opportunities that can make you get paid. Yeah, because people ask, what we want, we don't see jobs in the Web3 space. I think this is the place where there's a lot of jobs, but it requires that extra. So I'm going to start sharing like that. So there are many places to get paid, but let me start with governance. And people don't know that you can actually participate in governance. Let me try here. So, for example, I'm going to start with in Polkadot. Polkadot has this, it's the biggest DAO, the biggest decentralized autonomous organization. And in here, you can come in, anyone can come in. So it's like people don't know this concept. Anyone can come in if you want to make a proposal, if you want to vote on something. If you want to vote, you should own DOT. DOT is the token for this. So actually, tokens that we see, most of the tokens came because of a utility. Maybe it's a blockchain, it's a protocol, a utility of transaction, and then it transferred into many other things like trading and what. But that's the fundamental. So for the dot token, you can use it to vote. But dot has this. I think I can also, I will share them in a set. So dot has this open treasury where anyone can come and create a proposal to be funded, as long as it helps the ecosystem. And as you see here, the available dot is 29.71 million dots, which is $217 million. So at least you could start participating in here. You don't need to start with a proposal. You can come under discussions and be part of like discussion. So here, this one is having a discussion, once maybe funding for, so discussing about a funding proposal that they want to make, and you come in and you suggest. So I propose a funding of $1 million. What do people think? Yeah, you can just come, log in with your email and suggest. So this is an example of open governance, and I think this is the biggest DAO so far we have in the world. But it is open. That's the power. You don't need to have permission from anyone. You can come, follow up, read through proposals, see how proposals are made. Like, you can come and vote, see how many people. So here is a deciding. Let me say, I don't need to take more time on this. Now let me say, so here you can come and cast a vote. So here on this proposal, it is 96.2% here. So here there is a lot of politics. So 22 244,000 votes have been used to say yes on this proposal. So you can come and vote. It's open, it's an open source. You vote using your wallet. You can also create a proposal and things like that. So this is an experience for people who want to do decentralized things, who want to propose on something you want to do in a community, who want to engage, who want to see how it feels. Okay. So there are very many opportunities here. You simply being active here can make you recognized in very many ways and get work either in a decentralized way, or if you want employment, you get employed in any way in some organization or Web3 firm. So governance and all of the protocols have governance forums where governance things take place. What do you want the protocol to go to? Because most of these things are created in a decentralized way. It's not a single entity. So the next way you can look at your thing, maybe getting work is through jobs. So there are platforms like Web3 Career where you can just go to, and if you've done a lot like if you've done a lot of learning and then you've chosen to say I want to do, maybe I want to be a community guy, I want to be, this is the number one platform where there are always jobs that are given out. So Web3 jobs, this is it's called Web3.career. You can come here, tell people what you're doing. If you have a GitHub repository, yeah, there are other platforms where you can go to. So in terms of jobs, there are very many jobs like Discord, Telegram channels. People are giving jobs everywhere, and it's in a decentralized way. It's just you showing that you're doing. Decentralization brought these concepts of proof of work, proof of stake. What you feel you want to be engaged in is what you do. There are hackathons and open source. Oh God, there are many platforms that do hackathons, and sometimes I I go to these hackathons. So um I'm going to make sure that maybe afterwards I can give like a list or a doc having some of these, but we can have platforms like Taikai, Dora Hacks. So Dora Hacks, Taikai, like you just go in. Always these hackathons have time frame. So most of these hackathons are so international. So sometimes they can have like a lot of grit to so they can have a lot of grit to be part. But there are also things that are easy or they're like incentives. So here, like there's also this platform called Super Earn from Solana, whereby they give, like, if you use your Twitter, you write Twitter threads, if you write articles, if you do a program, a code, so dive into. So there are always these sort of bounties, Twitter threads, compelling. You can use AI, use whatever you want to do, use like whatever you have in the field you've chosen. And some of these super earn things have a caveat to them. Now, like this one is in Germany, but there are those that are open for open source. But for Dora Hacks, you can come and do hackathons. So these are very huge hackathons, like global. But then they are also here under bounties. There are mini bounties where you can come and do a bounty that is not so that is not so competitive. So this can help you to earn as you learn. Maybe you've learned something, do a small bounty, make sure that you do something that pays you. And when you get your token, it's up to you to learn how to get cash out of it, whether peer to peer or anything. I'm talking very many concepts, so hope it's fine. Yeah. So these small bounties, this is a token which you can change, maybe if you Binance or peer to peer into Uganda change or USDT, Kenyan change, whatever it is. But yeah, you can be doing these sort of small challenges, and there are countless of these platforms. We have Taika, I have talked about it. We have okay, I'm going to stop on Taika for that thing. Yeah. So there are also other platforms that yeah, Taikai, where you can come and also do hackathons. Hackathons are always time based. You can also find them in other forums, like if you follow Chainlink. Like when you get engaged into the decentralized space, you will find where you go to. If you've done maybe a project at DApp, there are places you just go to online and ask for funding. Do what you feel you can do. Also engage in a community. Say maybe if you see somebody doing what you want to do, how can I get that? How can I? Because very many projects in the Web3 space or in the blockchain space are coming up, and they are willing to work with anyone on the globe. Okay, so I can go back and then. So I've talked about mainly how to earn. So, but maybe you want to start learning. Where can you start from? So there are also many platforms. YouTube is a good place. Go to YouTube, search for whatever you want to learn. Maybe you've come, you want to say, I want to concentrate on Starknet, I want to concentrate on Ethereum, I want to concentrate on Bitcoin. So layer twos are coming out. I want to read about airdrops. Yeah, read. Maybe I can put the the official platform that shows airdrop news is called airdrops.io. I was a very big victim of airdrops when I came in because I thought I'll get money. Sometimes airdrops need you to invest, so they're not a good place to start from. But this platform called airdrops.io can show you chains that are going to airdrop or so in whatever field, whatever you've chosen, it's a good place. Now to learn, one platform I can suggest is learnweb3.io. This is also somehow where I started. I did a lot of YouTube, but this is a structured. They can give you a degree in Ethereum so that you start now at a place of having a degree, and it's free. Yeah. So from there, then uh, become a leadership frontier. So start learning, and yeah, the other thing is maybe for you don't want to be employed, things you can do is open source. Whenever I am one of those people who contribute a lot to open source. So here they are just level ups, meaning you can come here and level ups is when you just get a topic. There are courses and degrees, lessons at the level up. So courses and degrees, you can come here and learn things freely, and then yeah, you start engaging in the Web3 space. If um yeah, I think I've taken some good time on this, but I think I've given a big overview on where you can get started, on how you can do it. You can also look on YouTube videos that were made. There are very many concepts in the Web3 space. You just have to keep learning until you get something where you want to feel comfortable or to cover niche in. Okay, so I want to talk about the power of this space. I think I've even talked about it as I was presenting. This space is one of the spaces that is really giving money to Africa. Let me give this context. Sometimes when even you're applying a job, let me say on Turing, they will see that you're from Africa, and then you find out that the money that is being given to someone, because of that centralized system, you do the interviews, they'll reduce your money simply because of your location. But we want to have a place whereby, because skill is decentralized, skill can be in Kenya, can be in Uganda, can be in Tanzania, can be uh, in wherever, in Canada, it can be in Nigeria, it can be everywhere. So this concept of decentralized, whereby you can come in, do something, and maybe earn rewards, no matter where you come from, is a fully fledged thing in the Web3 space. Yes, so Web3 space is so decentralized that if you do something, you'll be recognized for it, you'll be rewarded, and in a way, yeah, and it is not so uh, censoring in like a place-based thing. So that's one of the things. Then there's a lot of open source projects in the Web3 space. So open source opens you up to, it's like a resume you can write online. So there's a platform called On-Chain Squad, whereby you just come open source, do your open source. You many people get airdrops because they contribute to open source. Because we don't have that. Many people don't have that money to, like in Africa, to have the luxury of maybe engaging in airdrops, money up, use this, then pay gas fee. But you can do open source, it is free. So when you come here to open source, all on Learn Web3, every day there are open source projects that come about. If you've just started something, don't wait to think that you need to know a lot. No, there are good first issues that always come on, and all of these are in the blockchain space. You might say, hey, where can I start with the documentation? If you can read through the documentation, say I want to do it, like this is even a good way to have a community that values you. So open source is also key. Yeah. So this is like, then the thing I can really encourage us is that this is going to bring a new context of reality. Many people don't really know uh, decentralization at its core. Many people don't know that you can come in somewhere and propose and have a proposal, put the funding you would want to execute that, put the deadline, and then be funded. So be open to new realities, be open to be scrutinized. If you bring a proposal, people will ask the community, because these organizations are managed by the community, and the community has a treasury that comes from the transaction fees. So the community is okay to ask you because they are the ones to vote. So this kind of paradigm is what you should be open to. Yeah, and do something, just keep doing something. And yeah, I think this, to those who are just maybe on Twitter, they are influencers, there are many platforms like Quests. So you can go to task.xyz, taskon, Quests. I think I've really like talked about many platforms, but yeah, these are all platforms where maybe for you, you don't want to contribute to open source, you don't know the things of coding, but you want to enter into this Web3. There are always many campaigns here whereby if you do the task, let me say you share on your Twitter, you complete the task, you stand a chance to be part of the many that are winning. So you can come read through and do those simple tasks so that you start somewhere, and also you learn as you earn. Like for me, something that has helped me was incentivized development. I could develop, but then I got stuck. Then when I saw these online things where you can do a challenge and get $50, get $100, I started from there, and I keep doing sometimes. Then once in a while, do a big hackathon, come back. Last week we were in Kenya, and I won in a big hackathon, in an international hackathon. But yeah, come back, do this. So this, they give 10 USDT to 200 winners. Already you must do these tasks, follow on Twitter, like the tweet, quote. Like this is the power of it. Anyone can come in. You can log in with your wallet. So in this session, I've not talked about how to get a wallet, how to, yeah, that can be another session, how to get like a wallet, things, but you can find those online. But yeah, you can come here, log in, and be among the participants. Already 700, how many people? So you can even come here and see how many people have participated so far, when it is ending in 26 days, things like that. So yeah, I think this is the second last slide. One big thing I want to encourage each and every one of us is do your own research. I've just given an overview based on my research. Web3 is an early, or blockchains is an early tech, and that's a good advantage. Do your own research, attend meetups if you can, get insights, just note down things, go back and do research, engage with others. It's just take someone like, hey, what do you think about this? Just be open, yeah, and then engage in competitions and hackathons. If you see an opportunity to go for that money, go for it. Like you could even join a team, and maybe you think your development skills are not good. Give another advice, like join teams, Chainlink hackathons are here. Join international teams globally. Get used to using Discord. Most of blockchains are run Discord servers. When you go to maybe their website, you'll see among the social media Discord, have Twitter. Use everything well, online well. Uh, be in Twitter spaces that are blockchain or Web3 based. Yeah, engage in Twitter spaces. I find like most people in Kampala don't want to do Twitter spaces. In Nairobi, people want to do Twitter spaces. Be in those Twitter spaces every evening. Just get a Twitter space. If you feel you have something to say it. Request for mic and things like that. So I want to end on that. I'm still Kakoza Vianney. I'm also a researcher. I'm an enthusiast. Yeah, I'm into the Web3 space. So I welcome questions. I think I can stop sharing. And thank you. Any questions?
Uh, yeah, I expect that I don't know if the moderator is on, but I was expecting that the questions are written in the chat and then they will be delivered to you. Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation and for walking us through this blockchain journey. So let's wait for the questions and we see.
Okay, so there is a question here. I'll just keep reading. How do we get wallets? Yeah, so it's very easy to get a wallet. Anyone can spin up a wallet. Uh, Let me share here. So the easiest way to get a wallet, if you see, I'm going to just uh, do a wallet, a MetaMask wallet.
I think you're mute.
Hello, Vianney, we are not hearing you anymore. I don't know if other people are hearing.
He's mute, I think.
Unmute?
Yeah,
We
you've been
can,
mute.
yeah, we can hear now, but then
Okay,
the screen share
okay.
has gone off.
I think okay. I think when I share my screen, I should activate. Let me activate the audio. Yeah, thank you for that. So now,
I think you're still mute. Let's see.
so I think let me just stop sharing. When I stop sharing, the mute goes off. I don't know. Maybe I've put it in a setting or yeah. But you can go to sub wallet. So if you want to get sub wallet, if you want to get MetaMask, so maybe I can talk about the differences. So there is what we call uh, cold wallets and hot wallets. Cold wallets are wallets that you have in your hardware. Hot wallets stay online, but you retain sovereignty. And then there are centralized wallet and decentralized wallet. So centralized wallets are the ones where you own the assets. If you lose the keys for the assets, no one can help you. But centralized wallets are the ones where the makers of the wallets own the keys for you, things like Binance, but also that is a disadvantage. Actually, even MTN owns your finances. So maybe if the government wants to know your accounts, they can do, but you can have a wallet whereby even if you receive many tokens, you and the person who has sent know that you have the token. So things like Subwallet do such a thing. Uh, I don't know why it is that when I share, maybe what I'm going to do is let me share one more time if it works. So issue. Um. Okay. Okay. Now my microphone is okay. All right. So I was sharing the computer audio. So I was talking about, for example, Subwallet. Let's install Subwallet with me as I'm demonstrating the what you need to keep, what you need to make sure that you hold very well. So this is an extension since I'm having a laptop, but you can have it also for the phone. So you can store your tokens, and if you want to maybe turn it into money, that's another thing. But there is something called peer-to-peer. So I'm using Chrome peer-to-peer where you can send tokens and then uh, get cash in your mobile money or something. Yeah. But so this is how you get your wallet. The most crucial thing about the wallet is that you don't have to share your seed phrase. So in the decentralized world, uh, if I create a password for this one, it stays on my machine. So the thing that is your wallet actually is your seed phrase, is your phrase, and we are going to get one. So here, so this is an example of a wallet. There are many wallets you need to research. If you need the MetaMask, Subwallet, Nova Wallet. Yeah, but for this case, I'm going to show how we can get a wallet. So these icons are wallets. This is a wallet. This is a wallet. But I wanted to get a wallet that I don't have on this computer, so you can see how. Yeah, you can. So this is a wallet extension. You can have a phone. Okay, so it is here. I think it is now here. I took Chrome. Okay, I took Chrome. Yeah, so it is my wallet is here. It is added. I'm not going to sync it. I can come to my extension and pin it, sub wallet. So when I pin it, it comes here. So this is how anyone can install a wallet, and this is how you can move with the token in your wallet. Well, token can be used for gas fees if you're developing. It can also be exchanged for money, yeah, for monetary cash. So if you do other things, or if you want to get cash out of it, and I hope it takes me. So you can also clear out your keys. So if somebody in any way convinces your secret, they have also to it that like computer, it's in free. Extension is open.
Hi, can
And my
everyone
screen
still here? I lost you.
Yes, I can hear you, Fanny.
Yes, I lost the facilitator. I don't know if anyone else has lost him or.
Sure, I think the
So
facilitator's sound is
when
breaking.
yes, I don't know. I think the wallet is a lot of okay, so let me just sharing. So yeah, I think because I was sharing what I'm doing, I think I have very many tabs open. But am I okay now?
Yes.
Am I
Yes,
audible now?
yes.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to stop the installation thing. I think because I was doing a lot of things. Yeah, my internet a bit, but yeah, you just install anyhow. So that was it about the wallets. But we can have a more detailed discussion about the wallets because the wallets host funds, like they hold our funds and so on. Kevin from Kampala. So let me read other questions. Are there other
All right.
questions?
Thank you so much. If you have questions, please type it in the chat. Another question I'll ask you personally is you really emphasize the concept of being part of a community. So are there any specific communities you recommend for someone who has no idea about blockchain to join apart from the one you shared online? I mean local communities.
Okay. Local communities, like anything you hear, we have, when you hear about blockchain, I think because we have Polkadot community, we have Celo community. These are just specific protocols or specific blockchains, I can say for that sake, that have formed communities. We have the Stacknet community. Yeah, if you hear that, maybe the easiest way to get to know most of these communities is to hear that there is an event and you go, because you join one community and then somebody tells you about another, something like that. Yeah, maybe also there is a blockchain devs UG WhatsApp group. Yeah, so I think that's the best way. If you hear of a Web3 event, like the one actually we have on Saturday, because on Saturday we have Polkadot. I think Celo also have an event on Saturday, and it's almost in the same location. So you could come and then ask people, I want to join community, and then people can, tell you which communities they are in, and then that's the easiest way. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Just a follow-up. Now take, for example, for people who are not in this call and
Yes.
they're looking online for a local community. Are communities in specific platforms? For example, you can just browse through meetup.com and then you find certain communities. Are there any specific platforms that someone who has no idea about even this workshop we are in can easily find those communities?
No, most of those communities actually online. They're online communities, and even the way like the local communities were formed, they were formed from online communities. And people say, why don't I make a local community? So I've seen like meetups where I saw Filecoin on Meetup, but then activeness, it's not so active. Yeah, I saw Filecoin Kampala. Yeah, so I think You can search maybe Starknet Uganda. You search, because when you search, you find information, you find the meetups that have been, you can find the Telegram. Yeah, you can search, I think. Maybe you need to know, uh, like Starknet is a layer 2. There's a community called Starknet community. There's a community called Polkadot Kampala community. There's a community called Celo Uganda community. Maybe that's the information that you need. But when you search, it will lead you somewhere online that you could join that community. It could be a Luma. It could be a meetup.com. Yeah, I think.
All right. Thank you so much for answering. If you have any questions, feel free to type. Maureen is asking if you can share the WhatsApp group to some of these communities. You have the link so far.
Okay. Um, what I can do is I can share. There's one big comment I know. Let me see if, but I can share like the WhatsApp or some other chat, like after here, or yeah, I can share maybe to you, then you share, because now I know it's called bit, because it's a very vibrant community. Blockchain devs UG WhatsApp. It's a WhatsApp community. Yeah, where you find most information about what's happening in Uganda in the blockchain sector. But then I cannot share it because, let me see. Yeah, I can just probably share a link after here. Maybe I can ask someone in and then get a link.
Okay, so probably maybe when Coach, if you're following up with an email, if you have everyone's email, we can also add that WhatsApp group in that email for those who have attended, so you're able to be part of the community.
Sure. Sure. We shall do the needful to find those links and then share them. Yeah, so maybe one question from me, Vianney, is if someone was a Web2 developer and they hear the term Web3, probably they imagine that this has the same roadmap or a similar roadmap like Web2. You know, in Web2, you either have to be a full stack web developer or a backend developer or a front-end developer or whatever. And you learn certain tools, like you could learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, whatever and whatever, and consider yourself a front-end or back-end developer. So for Web3, how can someone who is actually English is their second or third language, how can they quickly relate it to Web2 and forge a career in a structured way?
So for Web3, the easiest way, if you've been doing Web2, you can start with hackathons and then use SDKs and APIs that have been built in the Web3 space. You use them actually the same way. Like this protocol, like you want to build on top of them is a Bitcoin or Ethereum, you just use their APIs and SDK as you use other APIs in the Web2 system to create an application on top of that. Then you can go on now in depth, because once you start with that, you can even win a hackathon. Then you get the space to now start learning other things like smart contract languages. There, you on top of your Web2, you will add now things like Solidity if you're into Ethereum, or Rust to do smart contracts, and then you just keep widening on that base until you go to the protocol level. But if you know Web2, you can actually use Web3's SDKs that are built for Web3 products to spin up products. Yeah, quick
Okay,
start
that's
for development.
all right. That's pretty amazing. Then one more question for me is when we are talking about Web3, we are talking about decentralization. So the question comes to mind, can any developer with their minimal resources or much resources be able to implement their own blockchain technology, which is, something which is just, imagine you are the innovator of, let me say, imagine you are the innovator of, let me say, Eversend app. So the Eversend
Yes.
app needs a back end, which consists of a database, an API,
Yes.
and front end. Then and probably a compute engine, CI and
Yes.
CD pipelines. Would this be possible to build from scratch in terms of Web3, or does Web3 make that even easier?
So, security wise, and it is possible to build. You can even build your own blockchains, by the way, in the Web3 space if you learn Rust. Rust is the biggest language for decentralization because it is low code. But yeah, you can also have, like Web3 is used mainly for proving that this is what is this is the code, even proving that the code has not been changed. So you can spin up like an app like Eversend on your own blockchain. Actually, most of the backends of big like bank organizations are blockchains because when you look like at things like Standard Chartered, they have proof of reserves whereby they have to prove to their clients that they have this cash in there. Yeah. So you can spin up many things, or you can even build parts. Like you say, I want this thing to be provable, or I want it to be transparent. I want people to see this thing. So you build it in a blockchain, maybe then it speaks to a database. So that is called off-chain. On-chain, there's the blockchain. Off-chain is the database. Or you can build an entire thing on blockchain if you have the time and to learn and do expertise here.
Thank you very much for the wonderful answers.